In this video, we got some 90% silver concerns out there. I keep getting you viewers asking me, how much should I own? Are there fakes out there? Why do some coins even have red marks on them, as this one does? We're going to dive into all that. So please, like the video. Get the thumbs up. It helps me out very, very much. Share the videos out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of April. Thank you all very much. Let's just get into it right now. First, I want to get into how much you own. Look, this is not financial advice. Okay? It depends on your mindset. Now, what do I mean by that? Do you believe the dollar is going to collapse? Do you believe we are going into a bubble situation thing? It's happening now, folks, on a very, very small scale. Most of us don't even realize it's going on. It's happening at farmers markets now. It's happening at your local butcher shops. It's happening locally in your area. You might not even realize it. It's really going on. Look, if you have a decent income, you know, I would say whoever's in your home, and I'm just talking about in your home now, $100 face is not too unreasonable per person to have. I mean, if you have 4 people in your home, your husband and wife, and you guys got 2 kids. Let's use that as a family. You got 4 people. $400 face should be a very reasonable amount to own. Now, some people say, I can't afford that much. Well, no, nobody can afford that. Most people can't afford that much all at once. It's little by little, folks. Like I've said before, 2 quarters here, 5 silver dimes here. Whatever the case may be, 1 or 2 halves at a time. It adds up very, very quickly. Everybody's situation is differently. I really don't keep track of how much I have for 90% silver. I love it so much, I'm going to keep stacking it as much as I can possibly can. And when I can't get it no more, I can't get it no more. Then I got what I'm going to have, and hopefully it's enough. That's our mindsets have to be right now, folks. Because we don't know exactly what's coming down the pipeline. Now, this is our history. We have to preserve our history as much as we can. If the dollar collapses, not if, when, I should say, we will have buyable material for smaller purchases. You know, and what happens if silver really takes off to the moons? In dollar terms, dollar collapses, we have a reset, and we go back into some kind of other paper currency, or it's going to be, okay, Farmer Joe's got a dozen of eggs. How much does Farmer Joe want for that dozen of eggs? Maybe a silver dime's worth at the time, right now? Who knows? I don't think anybody cannot have enough 90% silver, no matter how little you have, how much you have. I'm still stacking it as much as I can afford to stack it. That is my way of thinking, folks. It's not about how much, it's about keep stacking it. Keep stacking it. That's how you're going to protect yourselves. Don't worry about what I have. Don't worry about what your neighbor has. Don't worry about what anybody else have except for yourselves. That is it. That is what we need to focus on. So keep stacking out there. I'm still doing that. I think we all should be still stacking the 90% silver. If you love 90% silver, you guys know what I'm saying. The folks get that 90% silver threshold. It's never enough. I mean, really, if you stop and think, do you have enough of this? Do you have enough of this? Are you living paycheck to paycheck like I am? And trying to get silver as well? If the answer is yes, then you're never going to have enough 90% silver or any gold. You're never going to have enough. So just keep that in mind as you're stacking. I want to talk about fakes. People keep asking me, is it Coin Shop Chris, is there fakes out there? Yeah, they fake everything, folks. The Chinese fake everything. The fakes that I've seen with my personal eyes is probably the more key dates in the walk-ins in the 1955 Franklin, because that's a lower mintage, that's more key date in the Franklin line. Yes, they're going to fake everything. But over my career, I have probably seen about 6 fake half dollars. I've told this story before. I bought 3 Franklin half dollars on eBay. They were 1955s. Not all of them. One was a 1955, one was a 1952, or one was a 1953. What you want to look for is if there's any white embedding in the coin. Pretty much like milk spot, but you can tell it's been embedded in the coin. More than likely, that is a fake. And people don't know about it. So I got them home. I did the ping test. Ping test said, not authentic. Franklin half dollar by the ping. Emailed the guy. He ignored me. I called up eBay. eBay gave him the 3 days. eBay mailed me a shipping label. Got my money back as soon as they hit his mailbox. Know your apps, folks. CoinPing app, very good app. Test them right there. You know, I don't have any problems buying off of eBay whatsoever when I'm doing that. You don't need a Sigma. No. You don't need that. Just download the app on your cell phones. Do the same thing with dimes. You can ping test those. Those are a little bit harder. The quarters, yeah, you can get away with the quarters as well. But the dimes are very, very hard. I have heard about silver quarters being faked. I've never seen it with my own eyes. I've heard about silver dimes being faked, but I've never seen one with my own eyes. So yes, be careful out there. If you are worried about fakes on anything, really, stay away from eBay. That's the bottom line, folks. Alright? That's the bottom line out there. You're not going to have any problems buying your silver or gold from a trusted coin show, coin shop, or an online bullion deal like sponsor channel Pimx.com. Check them out, folks. They check their stuff before when they get it in, they're checking it. They know they're not going to send out fakes that way. I'm sure most of the online bullion dealers do. I have never heard of an online bullion dealer selling fake anything. Sometimes they slip through. Yeah, they slip through probably. But I've never heard anybody say, oh, I got a fake from this company, I got a fake from that. No, that I've never heard of that. I'm sure there's stories out there with that. Sometimes stuff does slip through. Sometimes stuff slips through our hands at the shop too. We don't do it intentionally. You know, we sold a Silver Eagle. This was back 2 years ago, I think it was now. It happened to be fake. We didn't catch it. Maybe we missed it in the roll. Maybe we didn't check them all. It happens. Thought you checked it, the phone rings, and you put it in the check pile, and it happens, folks. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses, but stuff like that does come up time to time. We apologize to the customer. The customer says it's no big deal. I was here anyways. Now could have he had a sleight of hand and pulled out a fake one and put it in the roll as he was checking them? Yep, he could have. But he was in the shop, you know, didn't see him do anything fishy when he was checking them. We was really not keeping an eye on him. You know, we just don't know. All right, we just don't know. I mean, we're not going to take a big loss off an ounce of silver anyways. It is what it is. Did we do it? Yeah, most likely it was our fault. We will take the blame for that one. It happens. Why do some coins have red marks on them, paint on them? Well, I'm not sure how this one got the red paint on it, because maybe I can make a guess, but quarters itself, that was house money for the jute boxes. What they did was, when nobody was playing their jukebox, The owners of the establishment, like a bar or something like that, would put a silver quarter in. At the time they were silver, and they would put paint on it, knowing this house money. So when the vendor came in, because the bars typically didn't own their own jukeboxes, it was somebody they hired to get their jukeboxes in. They get a little bit of portion. They see a marking of a quarter with red paint on it, they give that back to the house. This one could have been plain and simple, could have been a casino contents. At the times, casinos were paying out change. They didn't have these tickets like they do now. And there could have been a special prize if you get something with red paint on it, blue paint, green paint. I've seen them all. It could have been something like that as well. So, is it damaging the coin? Yeah. I tried to take it off, and when it come off, I did as best as I could. You can see it's almost gone, but not quite gone. But I'm not going to clean it no more. It's kind of cool looking in my book. That's the only one I have, though. But that is what the story is with the, if you see red paint, blue paint, green paint, it's house money. It's house money from either a challenge, or you win something, or it came from a jukebox. That is what that normally stands for. So with that all being said, let's recap. You know, I'm still stacking as much as I can, folks. This is where we need to have our brains at. Keep stacking. Because one day, we're not going to be able to get our hands on this. When people are waking up now, we're having a hard time sourcing 90% silver now. We've been having an issue sorting 90% silver. You folks have seen me for 36 weeks in a row now doing the 90% silver market watch. You've seen some of the online bullion deals. From time to time they're out of certain items. I think there was a run right before the holidays of last year. There was a lot of the online bullion deals were out of the 90% silver. Then it started coming back in. People were selling it off. Is there going to be always 90% silver out there? Probably yes. But how much is going to be out there, and at what price? That's the thing we need to keep an eye on. This is why I keep my 90% silver market watches every single Saturday morning. Because I want to keep an eye what the online bullion deals are selling it for. I want to keep an eye on the true market, what's going on out there. And I think you guys and girls appreciate me doing that every single week. There's no other YouTuber that takes it half an hour, 45 minutes of their time on every Friday night getting this information set up for Saturday morning's videos. It's a lot of work. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm happy to do it. Because I'm very passionate about 90% silver, and I think most of you folks are too. Look, even if you don't live in the United States, like Canada, let's use Canada for an example. You guys have your 80% silver up there. Stack that as much as you can up there, folks. I'm not sure about, I think Australia and the UK, they have 80% silver as well. They may even have a little bit lower grade. Stack it. Like I stacked the 40%ers, folks. Halves. Minted from 1965 to 1970. I stacked the war nickels. Minted from later 1942 to 1945. Keep in mind, not all the war nickels are 90% silver. I've done videos on that before. The way to tell is look at the mint mark on top of the dome on the back. If it has a P, D, or an S, then you know you got the 35% silver content war nickel. Again, 1942 to 1945. Only ones you really got to keep an eye out for is the 1942s. You got a 43, 44, 45. They're all 35% silver. It's just the 42s you got to keep an eye out for. So, moving forward, I'll say it again. I'm still stacking as much as I can, folks. When I said at the beginning, people need $100 face per person. That's just for your house. Okay, per per person in your house. And that's just an estimate. Some people are going to need more, some people are going to need less. I want you folks to also understand how many people are you helping outside your house. Maybe you got your daughter, maybe you got your son, maybe you got your grandkids you're giving cash to help them out. Think about that scenario too. When the dollar does fail, do you have some silver for them too? Or you can say, sorry, I can't help you out no more. Think about every scenario that could happen, folks. This is not a pump trying to get you to buy more 90% silver. This is not what this video is about. This video is about trying to answer people's questions. And on a YouTube channel, to help everybody out, it's impossible. Telling you how much you personally need. I want to make that very, very clear. Because everybody is different. Everybody lives a different lifestyle. Me personally, I love the stuff, so I'm going to keep stacking it. If you folks have any questions for me on any type of silver, gold, platinum, reach out to me. I'm always happy to help you. Thank you, channel sponsor Pinbacks, for sponsoring the channel. Thank you to the viewer out there, because it's not possible without you as well. Happy Easter, folks. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm still having issues with the washing machine. Who knows what it is? I think it may be the pump. That's what I'm thinking now. It's sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, and it stops the mid-cycle. It could be the switch on the washing machine as well. That's where I'm at with the washer right now. So I'm still saying a few choice words, but I'll keep those few choice words offline, of course. If you have not yet given me a thumbs up, please do so. I know you can only give one, but I'll show two. If you're not shared the video, please share it out, folks. If you're not yet subscribed, come join me. We will see you tomorrow. We will keep an eye on the market tonight to see what it does. Until tomorrow, Coin Shop Chris is out. Have a good rest of your Easter Sunday.